time to start, I believe. So very good morning, everyone. As you all know, today we are going to learn a few important things about how we can prepare CV effectively. So before I start this session, I just wanted to give you a clear-cut idea on what does effective CV means. Effective CV. I request to give me admin access, that means a host role, so that I can control the audience. So what? Yeah, what does effective CV means? Does anyone know? Can you just, if you know the answer, please post a message. What does effective CV means? I'm waiting for the answer. What is the meaning of effective CV? Is there anything called non-effective CV? Okay, I'm not getting any answer. So, okay, I believe you guys are here to learn that. Am I right? That's why there is no answer. That's what is my assumption right now. Let me start with my brief introduction. My name is Ganesh Shetty. Basically, I'm a chartered accountant. I'm the founder of Institute of Practical Accounting and Taxation. So, with other founders, of course. So, basically, today we are going to learn various aspects of CV preparation. So, starting from what is exactly resume, what is exactly CV means. Okay, let me start. I'm going to share the screen right now. I think I need host access for this. 1 second, guys. Hope you guys can see my screen. Test me yes if you are able to see the screen. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So I would recommend all of you to please have a pen and paper. Any important point, if you feel that you have to make a note, please make a note of those points. Okay. So before we start, as I said, let us understand what is CV or resume. So as per my understanding, CV or resume means it is nothing but your reflection, right? So who are you? The same has to be reflected in a document in 1 or 2 pages. That's called CV, right? So it's kind of mirror. Am I right? So this kind of mirror wherein you are reflecting yourself in some other document, and this should be same as you. It cannot be like you are something and your CV is something else. It should be same as you. So how it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be like this. Can you see the image? It shouldn't be like this. That out of the mirror is someone else, and in the mirror someone else is there. It's like having some funky wordings and making some errors in the CV. This kind of imagination, I'm showing. And can it be like this? Even not, because you are not even as you can see in the mirror, but you are reflecting as you are like in the mirror. So that differences shouldn't be there. That's the major point. Last one option I would like to show you. Can it be like this? That's also not possible. You are reflecting yourself as a Superman. That's also shouldn't be the case. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say, this cannot be the option. So this is not your option. and the right option is this. So you should be accurately reflecting your own, okay, what you are exactly should be shown in the piece of paper, that is 1 or 2 pages paper. That's what is called as CV or resume. Clear, everyone? Everyone understood? Everyone understood? If you guys understood, please send me yes in the message box. I just wanted to make you guys active in the throughout the session. That's why I always ask you to be, please open a chat box. Whenever I ask you a question, you should be replying through the chat box only. Clear? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. Let me go further. So before we get into an actual CV preparation, okay, so we have to, in the proceedings, subsequent pages, we're going to understand what are the important points, key points to be considered while we are preparing CV. Before we get into that details, let us understand certain rules and assumptions. Okay, so rule number 1 or assumption number 1 is which tool to use. This is one of the basic question everyone must be having. So I have a certain answer for this. So generally, in general, many of the CVs are prepared in Word format. As you all know, it is generally Word format. And this Word format, why we are using? Because it's easy to change. If there is any changes required in the later point of time, we can easily change it, right? And then can we use PPT or Excel? So it is not suggested. So your CV cannot be in PPT because we have to restrict the page into 1 or 2 maximum, right? So it cannot be in PPT and it cannot be in Excel also, because Excel formatting is something different. It will be very difficult. PPT and Excels are not suggested. And online, right now, there are so many options for you guys to prepare your CV online. You can just Google it, prepare CV online. You'll be able to see the options wherein just you have to input the data and final result will be in a very nicely formatted design they will give you. Maybe there might be paid version, there might be free version also. You can even go for the online preparation of CV also. Okay, this is the next option. But what you have to do whenever you are using online CV generation option, you should save that login credentials carefully, because next time when there is a changes, you should be able to use the same format. That's why. Okay. Next point is convert CV into PDF in any case. Whatever you do it in Word or online or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, what you have to do, you have to convert that CV into PDF format, and your CV in more than 90% cases, it should be in PDF only. Please make a note. It cannot be in Word format at any cost. It cannot be in a PPT or Excel. And even if you prepared through online also, I always recommend you guys to please have a CV in PDF format only. Everyone understood? I have a question. CV should be in which format? Can anyone answer? Recommended is PDF, right? Everyone answering. It should be in PDF format. Okay, any format you can use it. So I am recommending CV should be in PDF format. Okay. Let me go to next assumption. Formats and presentation. How we should be formatting CV and how we should be presenting it. The number 1 point is, first you have to select the format, right? So before that, you have to plan your content. What are the content you think you must be adding in the CV? So once you are aware of all the format, let us talk in detail about the contents of the CV also later point of time. But what are the format and presentation standards you should follow is find out a matching CV template. So one thing, you have to plan your content. Then once your content is ready, then you have to find out matching CV. Suppose if I have content which might go to 2 pages, then I should always find out a template which will be in the 2 pages only. Am I right? Suppose in my as per my plan, my content is only restrictable to 1 page, then it should be 1 page CV format. Okay, similar way you should be selecting the CV template. How you are going to get CV template? You can just Google it. You will be getting number of CV formats. Even we can share you few of the CV format for our students. Basically, we used to share on a regular basis. We have certain format, and you can even choose and download the CV formats from the Google. Next, select a font and font size. So font cannot change for the half of the CV and next half of the CV. The font shouldn't be changing it. So it should be same. For example, Cambria, or any format which you want, any of the font, you have to choose it, and the same font should be applied throughout your CV. This is one of the major points. And font size also, heading can be in one font size and other content can be in font size, another font size. Basically heading, if it can be in 14, and the content can be in 11 or 12. So that is the generic acceptable format size, okay, font size. Next, carry same layout for all pages. I always see, being a recruiter also, I have seen thousands of CVs till date. I always see the first page will be different and second page will be altogether different. And sometimes half of the page will be different, fancy, and half of the page will be very plain. So you should be having basic design ideology wherein you should be able to use the same format throughout the entire resume. For example, your resume crossing more than 2 pages. That of course sometime it might happen, but yes, standard is 2 page maximum. Even if it is crossing more than 1 page, more than 2 page, in all the pages the format should be same. Like layout, it can be called as layout. Border, using one page one border and second page without border, that is not acceptable. You should always be using the same layout throughout your CV, right? So these are the major format and presentation ideologies or rules you should be always following. And the last one is, let us see what are the assumptions. Before you get into the actual preparation of CV, let us understand what is our assumption should be. The number one assumption is fresher CV can be general for all jobs. So when I make second point, you will understand why it is not. Okay, fresher CV, only fresher CV, zero experienced candidate CV can be general for all jobs. Be having one CV and you are sending the same CV to everyone. But in case of experienced candidate, this is not the case. In case of experienced candidate, the CV should be prepared based on the target job. For example, I have 5 years of experience. I have worked for initial 1 year, I worked as an HR. And next, I have taken a deviation and I get into accounting field. And 2 years I worked as an the specific accountant. That means handling specific area, accounts payable. I was working only for accounts payable. And next 2 years I started working for generic accounting. It's called as generic senior accountant or accounts manager. This kind of designation I work. So now, if my interest is purely on generic designation, then I should prepare CV based on the targeted job only. I cannot be able to prepare CV based on all the old experience. So here we will not be able to hide old experience. That is also not possible, right? In that case, what you should do, you should be focusing more on the job where you wanted to settle down in future, right? For example, accounts manager, or for example, senior accountant. Senior accountant job includes every in and out of accounting. So you should be focusing on that particular experience more. So you should be highlighting more roles and responsibilities with respect to that particular designation. Clear? If any doubt, you can ask me right now. Yeah. So you can always increase the page more than one. It need not be 1 page always. Okay, it can be 2 page, and it is always suggested to have 2 page maximum. It shouldn't be more than 2 page. In worst case scenario, maybe it may crosses more than 2 page. The last assumption which we are going to have right now is CV need to be updated on regular basis. This many of the students will fail to do it. Many of the candidates fail to do it. So every day in, day out, we will add many of the skills, right? And days also will change. Today, if I prepare CV with today's date, tomorrow it will change. Tomorrow date we have to add. So every day it is going to change. So if I'm applying for one job, which is my dream job, then my CV should be as per that dream job only. Tomorrow, of course, yeah, I may not be able to get the job which I'm expecting. In that case, I should be changing the CV according to the other job. This is purely, basically, I'm talking about the experienced people. So in fact, CV will change every day. Suppose if you apply today, the CV is different. Tomorrow, the CV is different. And after 1 year, CV will be different. And after 2 years, 10 years, the CV will completely change. Even every day, CV has to get updated. This is one of the major assumptions. These 3 assumptions, generally, CV need not be changed. Or if you are targeting any of the particular job, CV has to be changed. In case of experience, it's mandatory. And CV has to be updated on a regular basis. So these are the basic rules, guys. Don't forget these rules. Everyone ready to go for the content level now? Okay. So any questions? Okay, I believe there is no question. We are getting into a content level. I hope everyone understanding what I'm saying. So ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಎನಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ. ಹಿಂದಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೇಳಿ, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದ್ರೆ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಬಟ್ in this session we are going to focus majorly on our students, okay, InPAT Pro students, and how their CV should look like, because we are looking at a lot of deviation from the CV from the backend, right? I hope you guys are ready, and I am focusing more on freshers level and up to 2-year experience, and also experience level. I can give you my hint on certain based on my experience. Okay, let me start. What are the content should be, and I'm making one point very clear here. This is not a only format you have to follow. You can add and reduce as per your convenience. That option you guys anyway have. The first one is identification. So identification is very, very, very important. Can please anyone identify who is this guy here? This baby. Can you please identify? Anyone, any guess? No idea? Who is this baby? Okay. So this pic I have taken it from somewhere from YouTube today morning. I hope everyone are using social media. So right now there is a trend in reels. So there is one trend. Who are you? Right? That is what I wanted to highlight now. So in your CV, you should clearly mention who are you, right? This is not just big. I just share this video as well. You'll understand who is this guy. This is a kind of read. Okay, I just downloaded from YouTube.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Ding ding ding. Okay. Hola,
Who is this guy now?
Ronaldo.
You guys know. This is the changes has happened in his life. So of course in your life also there might be a lot of changes going to happen. I wish for that. Right now, let's get back to our original topic of the first content. So in identification, what you have to do, you have to write your full name on the top. Highlighted as curriculum vitae or resume or whatever it is. It can be in your name only. You need not to mention CV at all. Okay, this is for sure. You can just add your full name in capital letter. So that should be your full name when you are writing full name. For example, your name is, so okay, my name is Ganesh Shetty. For example, my name is, I will change Ganesh, yes. In that case, I will not be adding it as together or giving 2-3 spaces. I should be adding proper name, Ganesh, 1 space, yes, or Ganesh, 1 space, Shetty. So this is how you should be writing it. Okay, this is the full name, you have to write it. And then mobile number and email ID. So mobile number, you should ensure if you have 2-3, don't give all the 3. If you have 1 primary and 1 secondary, you can add it. And email ID, 1 actively used email ID, you have to write it. And permanent and residential address, this is very, very important. Residential address is one of the key factors for all the recruiters. Suppose if I am hiring in one candidate for my office, I prefer candidate nearby Basungudi, right? Basungudi, Bangalore. So if you are located in somewhere else, for example, if you are located in Maharthalli, I'm sure you are not going to join for my company. So what I need to know here, so your residential address as well as permanent address. Supposedly, I am a student. I am from basically from Udupi. I am looking for a job in Bangalore. I will get the address, permanent address, and residential address. So in that case, it is against the basic presentation methods or maybe basic professionalism. I would recommend you to write permanent address as Udupi. Okay, so maybe you can write your full address. If you're not comfortable, you can write it just Kundapura-Udupi, and pin code you can write it. And residential address, if you're still not shifted to Bangalore, if you're not sure about it, and you can write there itself ready to shift. There is nothing wrong in writing like this. Okay. By this, you are giving clear idea to your recruiter that you are going to shift to a nearest locality, so that he is also comfortable that he hire you, then you are ready to shift and relocate to his place, nearest to his place. That's one of the important point. And there are certain emotional factors also here. Supposingly, see, nobody hates anyone from any place. I don't hate anyone from Mangalore, or I don't hate anyone from Bijapur. I don't hate any North people. And if I find it suitable for this particular job, I'm going to hire. So giving any locality which they may like will give some added advantage for us. So if the manager or hiring person is from Ballari, or if he is from Hassan, and if I am also from Hassan, he might prefer. Am I right? So in that case, it is preferred to write your locality. That means your original location, that permanent address. So you can write it. This is something, the unique points which I'm telling, it's all your choice. You can think. Negativeness will be very less. If you're suitable, definitely they're going to hire. If your locality is matching with the recruiter locality, there is a high chance of getting placed. So with the emotional factors I'm talking about. Next, add your photo, the nice professional photo, not like selfie and all. Don't add selfie there. Okay, if you're taking the normal photograph, then you can add, or if you might be having something like your own photos or passport size photos also, you can add. It is again optional. You need not always be adding it. Okay. Next is add a designation. That is something different. Now you have experience of 2 years as an accountant. You want to continue as an accountant. In that case, you are always suggested to add accountant as a designation. For this identification factor, I just wanted to show you one of the CV which I have in my hand right now. One CV format. Okay, let me start with that. Okay, this is a CV format I'm going to use for this example purpose. Okay, for your understanding purpose. So here I have a name, right? I'll be writing my name here. See, some people will write it like this: one small letter, one capital letter, or in Western I've seen this also. I don't want to see this. So first letter should be capital, and all the letters should be capital, and the proper space, one single space is enough, and photo can be added here, and mobile number can be written here. So email ID, active email ID should be written here. Okay, and address, if you want complete address or otherwise permanent address and destination address both. And if you're in the process of shifting, you can just write it as ready to shift to the nearest place. Clear? Identification is clear, I believe. So let me go to next. Designation. Yeah, one point I want to highlight. Designation is something different which you can always add. So in my name, in this CV, I have written my name. I'm also wanted to write as an accountant. This is not banned, by the way. You can write it. It's optional, and the font size should be smaller than this. See, this will clearly give him what you are passionate about, what your interest is, and this CV can be applicable only when you are applying to an accountant job, not anything else. Clear, guys? You have to send the CV only to the job where you are applying for the accountant job or above, in the same line of activity. It cannot be like HR job. If you apply like this, no, you'll be straight away rejected because you are not an HR. They're looking for an HR candidate. Clear? Are you making the points, important points? Okay, let me go to our next slide. So career objective. I always see so many stories, and of course it looks like always copy pasted one. So what I'm talking about, I hope you guys understanding now. Let me show it in the CV itself. This is the space I'm talking about, career objective. Career objective should be neatly written, okay, professionally written. It is not a copy paste job, guys. You can even do the copy pasting. I'll let you know later, but it should be neatly designed. So this is the part I'm talking right now. Career objective: to succeed in an environment of growth and excellence, to earn a job which provides me job satisfaction and self-development, as well as help me in achieve personal and organizational goals. This is the objective which I read it for your understanding. Let me give you important factors when you're writing career objective. Write it for yourself. Don't copy and paste it straight away. I'm not saying don't copy paste, but don't copy paste it straight away. So people do that always. Write it for yourself at least one para, guys. One day one para bariri, jasti and bariyad beda. Adanadru nim mulka irli, right? Don't copy paste it. And refer few formats and select the best. So if you want to copy paste it, Google it, refer few format and select the best. Make changes as per requirement, as I said, and focus more on ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ you are contributing to the organization and also you are growing. It shouldn't be like I want to make my best career and I want to get more salary. Don't write something like that. You should be writing it, I want to contribute to the organization. At the same time, I want to grow. I can be a good team player. I can handle many people. I can handle few people. Something like that, you should be writing it. This is all about the goal statement or career objective, we call it as. Clear? This should be neatly designed and well written. Font, everything should be same, as I said. Next is education. There are certain important point. Education, everyone writes because they would have completed PUC, SLC, and BCom, MCom. That is for sure. So here there are important points to be considered. List your qualification in chronological order. So highest qualification will come only later point of time, not the first degree ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ನಾವು PUC ಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, right? So it should be first MCom and below that BCom, below that PUC, and then SLC. I even seen the changes like shuffling here also. So please be careful. You have to writing this university and college. Mandatorily you have to write your college. In this CV it is not there. Let me add it as a college name. Okay, college name is always better because college might give some added advantage for you. Suppose I would have completed from a bigger college, then the CV weightage will be more. And if I would have completed from smaller also, no problem. So you can write it, not a problem. But yeah, advantages factors are more. And year of passing is very, very important. And percentage. Let us talk about that. List of qualification in chronological order. Institute name and year of passing is mandatory. Marks or percentile is not mandatory, guys. Okay. So because why I'm saying you cannot depends upon always fast. You should also be growing, right? You would have added most of the skills in a very recent period. Then in that case, for your selection, only the percentage is not a criteria for a recruiter. So it is suggested to add if you have good percentage. If you are getting 70, 80, 90, then you, of course, you have to write it. That's one of the added advantage for you. So you have to write it down. If you feel that your percentage is low or somewhere around 60, 50, or sometime I have seen the percentage of just pass also. So why you have to create some negative impact? So don't even write it. I'm very, very straightforward here. So if your percentage is just pass, don't even add it. Okay, just hide it. Okay, so no need to add this column itself. You have to remove it. Entire column has to be removed. That's about it. So very clear here. Maybe there is one more point. Yeah, 3 to 4 qualifications is maximum, and don't add too many qualifications. If you have, I think you would have cleared 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, right? 11th, 12th. Don't add everything. So only SLC you can add most of the cases and above. Suppose you can even remove SLC, PUC, and above graduation, post graduation, like that. Okay. Some people would have done chartered accountant. So in that case, they would have completed PUC also, degree also, then post graduation, and then they would have started professional courses. In that case, 4, 5 is not necessary. 3 to 4 is enough. Maximum 3 is enough. Okay. Next is certification. Very, very, very important nowadays. Certification is a major parameter or factor for all the freshers. So you have to write the course name which you have completed. So of course, I'm going to focus more on this particular area later point of this slide. So right now I'm going to talk in general. Okay. So you have to write your name, what you have done. For example, you have done DPAT course. You have to write completed diploma in practical accounting and taxation level 1. So let me focus more on this later. And certifying authority. What is the institute? So Institute of Practical Accounting and Taxation, which area? Basungudi, Bangalore. Like that, you have to clearly write it. What is the duration? The program duration may be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It is generally it is preferred to be add in months only. It should be in months only. 3 months or 6 months or hours also it is okay, not rejectable, but it's okay. Sometime you would have attended one of the session certification program for a 2 days. It is only 10 hours program. Then you can write it 10 hours program. Date of completion is very, very important. When did you complete it? You have to always add, and brief summary of the key skills you have added. Clear? These are this has to come in certification part. Let me show you. There is a certification part, right? I'm going to write it here. this certification. For example, you would have done digital marketing program courses. Digital marketing course, you have to write in summary from which institution, digital marketing program name, and also the date of completion, how much time you have spent on this. Clear? Any questions still here, guys? Another question, Idya? Any questions you can ask right away. I hope there is no question. So let me go further.
So certification is mandatory?
Yes, it is mandatory. It is mandatory if you've done it. I think you would have done it. That's why you're asking me this question. It is mandatory. See, right now, so why even we have this training institution? Because there is a gap between theory and practical learning, right? Why you go for certification program? Because you know there is a gap, there is something more to learn. That's why you have done that course. Adding that will give always added advantage for you. Okay. Next question is professional experience. Very, very important. The space which you are going to add, very, very important content which you are going to add in your CV. So how it should be added? Let us also focus on fresher level. Experience should be in both the way. It can be in two ways. One, it can be in a chronological order, or it can be in a functional order. There are two things. What is the difference between chronological and functional order? Let me give you a brief idea on this. Chronological andre, basically based on the time. The newest is the first, the oldest is the last. That's about it. Okay, chronological order. So I have just quit from an organization. From last 2 years, I was working there. That should be on the first, on the top. Then below that, before that, I was working in a small organization that, and before that. So I think I could see there is a hand raised from Rizwan. I think if you have a question, you can ask straight away.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a question. Suppose I am working as an accountant, but I want to change my designation for HR. So
Okay.
how I can mention, because I have an experience in accountancy, but for HR, I am the fresher. So how I have to mention in my resume?
Okay, so let me address this question throughout the session. Okay, I'm going to consider this question throughout the session. Please be active throughout the session. And if you feel at the end of the session, I have not answered this, you can again ask this question, right? Okay, in this particular slide, I'm going to answer this question also. See, chronological order is something like you're adding newest experience in the first and the oldest below that, right? So this is the chronological order. And functional order means, in your case, just now we got a question, right? For that, the solution is functional order. Supposingly, she was worked as an accountant till now, and now she want to change into HR profession. So basically, she need to show something relating to HR. In her case, if she has an experience from HR also, but it is for a smaller period of time. For example, I have given one other example earlier. Worked as an HR initially 1 year, 2 years I worked as an accounts payable, and last 2 years I am worked as an accountant. Now, if I am focusing on HR, what should I do? I should be focusing more on HR designation. Okay, it need not be in a chronological order. It can be first itself is HR. I worked as an HR. I learned all these things. The period will be less. It is something like deviating the recruiter by making some changes in your CV. That is legal and that is acceptable. And you should be able to justify, because you are applying for a HR job. So you are highlighting HR job on the top. Clear? So what to do about other accounting job and other jobs which I worked for more than HR job? You can reduce the content. You can just highlight worked as an accountant for whatever the duration. And duration, you need not to mention 3 year, 2 year. You just have to give the dates. So from 1st November 2022, 2nd December 2022, like that you have to mention. See, people, the recruiter will not spend so much time on your CV. He will be spending time just like this. And maybe later point of time, they might look into that in detail. But yeah, in a brief, just initial screening, they will not see in detail. So that's why for you, the functional order is the suggested one. Whatever experience you have, don't give so much importance to it. Only the importance you have to give it is the HR jobs. That's the answer. Maybe I'm going to cover more points in later slide also. Okay. So next is company name is must. Of course, the company name you have to highlight always. Right? Precise duration. Duration should be very precise. And there are errors. So many errors I have seen, because when people write, they don't even consider the year. So some people, I have seen many CVs for this example, they write wrong duration, as well as they write 2019 to 2018 they have done some job, it seems. How people can go reverse here? It should be like 2020, 2021, 22, right? So these kind of small error will create a very bad impression in front of the recruiter. And ready to answer for reason to leave each company. You're writing it, something is different, but you have left each and every organization for a reason. The reason is very, very important and deciding factors for recruiter to hire you. Very, very carefully you have to answer these questions. Why did you leave that last organization? You should be giving a genuine professional reason. So I didn't like their infrastructure, that's why I left. That is not the answer. Or you might be answering some people. So the boss is always telling me to achieve this target every month. Yeah, that's a business. You have to be achieving every month. Every month, if you're not earning and not achieving your target, how your boss will be able to pay your salary every month, right? So it's a commercial arrangement. You are applying for a job for a salary. He has to pay you salary on a consistent basis. He do not have an option now. Pay 20,000 first month. And if there is a business, he will pay 20,000. Otherwise, he will pay 15,000. Does he have the option? He or she? No, right? That's why you should be giving a proper, like that is about the job I was talking. So please make your decision very, very carefully when you're leaving the organization. This is going to count. And the changing the job every 2 months, 3 months, it's not suggested. Please select your job very, very carefully. And once you join, you should be working more than 1 year or 2 years in particular organization. Okay. So you should be having the very good amount of time for selecting the job. Selection, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ select ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ select ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, but ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತೇನಿಲ್ಲ, because you should be selecting your job very, very carefully. Okay. So one more question I have, let me read this. Okay. So let me answer this in the subsequent slides. Okay. Fine. So next slide is about the reference. Reference is nothing but your mentor who had helped you, or your previous employer, or anybody for that matter. You have to give a good reference. That means you cannot give your friend as a reference, and you should be always giving your previous employer, or any of your maybe you are a fresher, you can give lecture reference, or or maybe in your previous employer reference you can give it, and you can add their contact details optionally, and if they agree then you have to add, and it's optional, you need not to always add. It can be presented, you can write it. The contact details of the reference will be given on request. That is also, you can write it in CV. So, and inform them very well in advance, because you are writing somebody else's name, and if you're applying for a job, you should be informing your reference person also, right, whom you are referring to. So this is also very important factor to cross verify. Someone else is telling about you, right? Their details has to be accurately written. And if I missed out anything, if you feel okay, I had to add this because I am great in this aspect, then you can always add as other details in your CV. Personal details, maybe your father name, you can add it here, and age you can add. Certain time, the age is a decision factor for the employer to hire an employee. In that case, it will be helpful for the employer. Gender is also deciding factor sometime for the recruiter. Marital status, whether you married or unmarried, and language. Language is a key factor. Kannada, English, Hindi, whatever, that is also sometimes matters a lot. And hobbies, you can write to not to a great extent. Hobbies, nobody's bothered about your hobbies, but achievements through your hobbies, if you have achieved something, you can please write it. If you are a sportsman, you can write something about your achievement as a sportsman. Then declaration need not be in a big space. You can write it in one letter. I declare above information are true to my like whatever you write normally, right? So I certify the above information, or you have to give a confirmation about information. That's about it. Okay. So declaration, after declaration, you have to sign. Basically, if you are signing, and on the left side there will be date and place, you have to carefully see the date is the current date. And if at all you keep a space for signing signature, you have to always sign. Otherwise, you can write it like this. I can show you this particular CV only. Here it is there, right? You can see this CV. declaration, I hereby declare that details furnished above true. That's about it. Best of my belief. And there is no space for signature. You need not to write it, sign it always. But if you feel you have a time to sign, you have time to change all the time, and you have a time to add date, then you can keep all this space for the time. One page CV, I think it's very difficult to add a signature space. Please be careful. Clear? I think this is the basic CV content. Okay. So, and once you prepare CV, what you have to do, you have to finally review it, right? You have to finally review your CV. So what is the review? What are the review points? Let me highlight one by one. Check spelling and grammar. Don't make the mistake of giving the wrong spelling in your name, in your qualification, in your employment history. Please check it thoroughly. There are options in Word to check spelling automatically, and even you can do it manually. And then grammar. So grammar also you should be very careful, and you can do some proofreading from your nearest people. Like you can give it to someone else for the proofreading. How many times you have seen this document? You may not be able to identify certain spelling mistakes unless otherwise you give to some third party, anyone for this matter, your friend or your colleague, you can give to them, and trustable people you can give, and they can proofreading. Once everything is ready, you can, before this is given for the printing, you can get the feedback from the experts. Any expert, maybe you are our student, right? Many of the attendees are our student. You can run through this particular CV with your faculty. Whoever faculty you have, you can just tell your faculty to just see your CV once and take a printout and just give it to him, and him or her, he will just review it and give it back to you. This is the final feedback. And last, you have to convert that into PDF. Again, PDF, you have to Word, it has to be converted into PDF, and then give a standard file name. Let me show you how you can convert PDF file into PDF. Let me assume that this is the final CV I have drafted is. Then I have to click on Control P. Okay, so you have to install one of the software called Print to PDF. It from many of the systems, it will be by default, it will be available, and then you have to click on Print. When you give it on click on Print, it will not be printed. It will be converted into PDF, and it will ask for the name, file name. What is the file name I should give? So I should be giving the standard file name. So what's my name? Ganesh Shetty. Okay, what is this document all about? You can just add one underscore. What is this? CV, correct? So what is the job you're applying for? Accountant in this particular case. That's about it. This is enough. And some CV, I could see they've just written CV. They just written whatever they want. CV, everyone prepares CV, guys. Yours is also CV, his is also CV. Who is CV is CV, your CV, right? That confusion should not arise. So whenever you are sending, you should be writing it very, very carefully like this. Your name underscore CV underscore accountant, or if you feel anything important, you can write it and save it. So this will be converted into PDF. I can see this file, right? I'm just opening this. Yeah, this is my final CV, and then it will be ready to send it to the employer, right? So till now, any question about the content and final review? Before I go to our student topics, any questions? I hope there is no question from anyone. Okay, I've got 2-3 questions here. In resume, mandatory write 2 or 3 months experience. Yeah, this is a bit challenging, guys. Suppose if you have worked for 2 to 3 months, that is definitely going to create a very, very negative impact on the recruiter. But okay, out of 2-3 company, you would have left one company within 2 to 3 months. So you can hide it, but if the recruiter focuses on your CV more, then what happens? They will be able to identify the gap. You can hide it, but they'll be able to identify. In that case, what you can do, if you really think that you shouldn't be adding that particular company name or particular experience, you can add it as some of the certification gap. You can fill it out, or something. You have to find out some other way for it. But yeah, hiding is not suggested. You can write it, but your reason for that particular the why you are leaving that company should be accurate, and it should be acceptable by any recruiter. So one point you should please remember, don't blame any company, any recruiter, any of the previous employer in front of new employer. He is smart enough to understand that this guy is going to blame me after he leaves this job. So please be giving the good comment on the all the previous employer, even though you're not happy. Okay. So this was the problem, and that's why I left. So I couldn't tolerate this. That can be your review or feedback, but it shouldn't be like blaming your previous employer. Okay. So that is the answer. So you can hide it. Yeah, you can give a try. But yeah, if you're writing it, it is always suggested to write it, even if it is 2 to 3 months. Write it, but you should be having a proper reason for leaving that particular company. I think this is clear. Let me go to next topic we need to understand is okay. How our student has to prepare their CV. Very, very important, guys. Please listen to this carefully. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So first of all our students would have completed some of the courses with us, either specialization course or either modulars. Module wise also they would have taken, because their preference were to learn some of the topics. So let me understand, let us give just a brief understanding about the courses. We have DPAT course, level 1, level 2. Some people would have completed level 1, some would have come level 1, level 2 both, or level 2 alone, or certain HR specialization or tax specialization. Would have taken only tax topics, that called tax specialization. You would have taken R2R specialization, record to report. That means only tally and MIS you would have taken. That means R2R specialization. In that case, or maybe in all these customized module, I would have taken only GST. I would have taken only TDS, because I need to learn TDS. So this was the what was the intention to take up these courses? Because you wanted to add some skill to your CV, right? That's the major intention. What you are going to do, what was the final impact on your CV should be. So you would have qualified as a BCom, BBA, MCom, or MBA, or any other for that matter. You would have learned so many theory topics in your curriculum, in your college, and you would have started your job. Joballu kuda nimge olle exposure sikkilla adene irbodu, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕಲ್ತಿರಬಹುದು. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಸನ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ CV ಹಾಫ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So that can be what I exported right now, right? To that extent. So CV should be skill based right now. So there was a question from someone that, so is this important to add certification? Of course, right now it is very important, because the people are looking for a skilled employees and skilled candidate, not just qualified candidates. Skilled candidates are the major people are on demand right now. So when you learn this course, level 1, level 2, or any module, or HR specialist tax, anything, you will be adding practical exposure to your CV or your profile. Basically, you are adding so many practical exposure to your CV, right? So if you are not adding this practical exposure, or if you're not showing this practical exposure in CV, then what's the point in doing this certification? You guys are understanding? ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿರೋದೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಡಿಂಗ್, ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಈ ತರ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೂ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಯು? That's impossible. That's where I stress this point. You have to be adding, and you are the only person you have to justify it. When certification means, so this is the point. There was a point we have focused on certification, right? You can add this kind of text there. Completed diploma in practical accounting and taxation level 1 course at InPAT Pro, Basungudi, Bangalore branch. This is how you have to justify. You have to write it, and then you have to give lot of points during the interview to justify your learning exposure. How did you learn DPAT course? You had got printed books, or in case of online, you had got all the study material soft copies, right? So for your information, I'll take up questions after this, after a few slides later. Okay. So you would have got books or soft copies of the books. So what was that? That was the case studies. It's not just some books, right? It was not like BCom books or MCom books. It was a case study. You should tell this in front of the interviewer. Sir, I have learned so many case studies. You would have learned level 1, level 2. You would have learned 100+ case studies. You resolved 100+ case studies. That you know, guys. You have to highlight this, and you would have used a simulation software. What is simulation software? Simulation software is basically a replica of government website. It's a basically demo website. You would have used it. You have a hands-on experience. You should tell the interviewer that, sir, I have done literally GST return filing for using the simulation software. You should tell that. And you also have got access to the soft copy materials, PPTs and everything. That you should also highlight there. And at the end, you have also certificate in your hand. You should show them that, sir, this is the certification certified by InPAT Pro. InPAT Pro has trained thousands of students till now. We had trained we have trained and made quality candidate right now. So this is what is employer is looking for. If you're not showing employer that I have done this course and with these key highlights, they will not trust you. Understanding? This is very important with respect to certification, guys. And let's get back to very, very important topic of key skills. What is expected from the employees from now? From employees right now? The skills, how skilled they are, how effectively they can add value to our organization. They are getting a lot of BCom, MCom graduates right now. Maybe some of the people are here attending the sessions are just completed BCom, MCom or graduation or post graduation. Now it's time for you guys to add skill to your CV. That is what is the employers are looking for. What is the reason why their employers are looking for skills? See, if I hire a fresher, I need to train the fresher for 2 to 3 months and then years together, right? I should spend a lot of time and effort and I should invest. If I'm getting a trained candidate, what is the use for me? So what is the use? Because I'll be getting a trained candidate wherein I need not to train, my money is saved. You would have paid around 30,000 for DPAT level on level 2, or maybe 15,000 for level 1, or if you would have completed one module, you would have paid minimum to minimum 1,500 or minimum to minimum 4,000 you have paid. So this payment you are making to improve yourself, this amount will be saved by your employer. So employer will compromise with the training cost. He can easily add some amount to your salary. It's just a cost to cost commercial analysis I'm going to give you. I'm saving something. Being an employer, I'm saving something because I need not to train this candidate. So what happens? I can give you more salary. This is what is going to happen, guys. Understanding everyone? So key skills. So I'll just highlight some of the key skills which you can add. If you're not adding this, you will not going to get benefited after this course. Tally foundation. You would have completed tally foundation or level 1. You have to just let them say, you know, basic accounting and you should be knowing it. In the initially only, I have given you the one pick. I showed you one pick, not like 3 pick on the right side. On the left side, I showed you one pick, exactly reflecting what you are, right? It's a mirror. CV in CV, you should tell, I know basic accounting. I know ledger creation. I know grouping. I know voucher entries. I know adjustment entries, journal entries. I know BRS. Do you know? You should be knowing it. If you do not know, you should be getting it and get understand from the faculties on a regular basis. I think everyone is learning and going out of our institution. If you're not learning, it's your fault, guys. Okay. So you should be able to highlight. Supposingly, I do not have so much space to add all this. Okay, let me do one thing. In this tally foundation, what are the brief 2-3 points I can highlight? Accounting. Instead of basic accounting, I can write accounting, ledgers, voucher entries, and BRS. That's enough. So, which I was preparing on CV, right? I'll just add this key skill and highlight this certification. Assume this is the certification which I have done is level 1 in this institution, for example. So level 1, this is the course which I have done. I'll just copy this and I'm going to paste this here. Unformatted. Yes. I just pasted here, right? This is one of the certification. If I had done more than one, I have to give the numbering. Otherwise, one is not required. Okay. The technical skills. So now, previous CV which I showed is just a fresher CV, BCom, MCom graduate CV. Right now, the CV which I'm showing is our student CV, DPAT completed or his skill-based courses completed student CV. So this is the course. One example I'm taking is DPAT level 1. So what you have learned, so is accounting, vouchers, ledger creation, and BR. In one line, I can write it, right? Or more than one line, two lines. So you can write ledger creation. In two lines, I've written everything which I've learned in Tally Foundation. So this kind of summarizing the content, it's your responsibility. It's not our responsibility, it's your responsibility to summarize the content. So let me go to next, Excel. What you have learned? You would have learned Excel basic features, presentation features, shortcuts, and basic Excel formulas, advanced Excel formulas. You would have learned 30 to 40 formulas. You cannot write all the formulas, right? You have only small space. I am working out with a small space now. You will be having 2 pages, guys. You can add in the 2 pages. So in that case, what you can write in Excel, so 2, you can write basic, okay, instead of this, shortcuts, features, formulas. That's all. So you have to write only this much. Okay. Shortcut features, but it should be Excel. Excel shortcuts, features, and formulas. You should be specifying it because it's a separate line item, what I'm showing. Salary statement or payroll. What you have learned? You have learned so many things. Appointment letter, city structure, salary statement preparation, and then various deductions, PF, ESA deductions, everything. So you can just highlight 2-3 points, right? What is that? So appointment letter, and then salary statement, payslip. So here salary statement, you can write deductions, maximum 2 lines it's going to be. So this is how you should be able to summarize the key skills which you know, and you should be also ready to ask the questions when the interviewer asks you. So you said you have learned formulas. What is the formula you know? You should be able to answer quickly, guys. So basic formulas I know. Sum, if, all that are basics only. Okay. Sum, if, all these things. Advanced formulas, VLOOKUP, pivot table, and all that. So you should be able to answer at least 1 or 2. The people are, most of the interviewer are expecting, do you know VLOOKUP? Do you know pivot table? This question definitely they're going to ask you. So you should be able to tell them, yes, I know VLOOKUP. So you should be able to explain in theoretical terms, what is VLOOKUP? You should be able to answer. VLOOKUP is nothing but, so looking up for a value which is in a, from the database for the criteria which I have, right? That is what is called VLOOKUP. You should be able to answer by the formulas, taking the terminologies from the formula itself. Lookup value, database. So all this you should be able to use the terminologies. You should be able to answer theoretical answer for the practical learning, what you have made. Similar way, I'll also explain other 3 skills. Income tax computation. What did you learn from income tax computation? There was income tax topics in your graduation also. You would have learned something from graduation. Here what you learned different. So income tax computation of the proprietor concern, or maybe income tax computation of individual. Various lab rates I have learned. And I know house property, computation of the house property. And also I know advanced tax computation for the income of any of the individual. And many more, deduction part. And by this, you also know tax planning now. And when it comes to TDS, you should, of course, you should highlight these points. I know Form 12B, 12BB, how to take it from employees and how it has to be distributed to the employees, and how should be tax planning of each and every employee should be done. You should be able to justify for your learning. The adding skill is not should be on the paper, it should be in a real time. You guys are understanding, I believe. Next one is GST. What you have learned from GST? I learned so many things. GST computation, invoice preparation, and then e-way bill using simulation. You should always highlight this. I know GST return, GST 1 and 3B being a pressure. I know GST 1 and GST 3B in real time. How that is possible? Employer will be surprised. So you should give a clarification, sir. I will join this kind of institution wherein they are going to give us a simulation access, simulation software. So they will give it to us and we are going to file the return in real time. If you're not done, you have to contact your faculties for this, right? So this is about level 1 and level 2 tally specialization. Again, there are so many key skills. So we have given you this particular content, and after this training, we are also going to share this content with your counselor. If you really want this content, you should get it from the counselor. Clear? So soft copy of the content we are going to share. But this content is only final thing here. You should be able to summarize, presenting in a better way. For example, let me take income tax return filing. What you learned from income tax return filing, you are able to file income tax return filing, you referring to the form 16 or without form 16, you will be able to do it. And you know how to make the self-assessment tax, this kind of advanced level. Yeah. Okay. So next is TDS return filing. You know how to file quarterly TDS return, that you should be able to highlight. And similar way, you should be able to highlight PFAS. This is all things are with respect to simulation software. And business taxation is nothing but how to compute tax for a business entity. You should be able to highlight what are the learning exposure you have with respect to business taxation topic. You know how to prepare, how to compute depreciation for the business entity, how to compute depreciation as per the company's tax specifically, disallowances, allowances, everything. And when it comes to financial statement MIS, you should be able to tell them, I can prepare a financial statement for this company every month. Don't give a promise, but you can tell this. I know this because you're not, we may not be expert guys, but you know how to prepare. You have a generic understanding. So first 2 years of your career should be invested. And after 2 years, you can earn money more, but try to invest your 1 or 2 year career on learning. You can give some promises, and you can also tell them, sir, I know preparation of financial statement in a very, very basic sense, but if you can help me out, I will be able to prepare my own. Every month I can give you MIS. If you have some senior accountant with you, you can learn from them to upgrade your knowledge apart from what you learned here. These are the key skills you should be able to add in your CV. Let me complete with 2-3 points here. The fourth point is income tax, IT computation for individual we know, and payment. This one sentence is enough. And form 12B and 12BB I can prepare, right? And TDS payment computation also you can do it. Last one is GST. GST 1 and GST 3B and payment. And one more point I missed out. Can someone else tell me what is the point I missed out? Very important point. You should be also knowing how exactly you should format it. Now this is going beyond my the line item, right? So what is that? I have to reduce the, so you should be having very good word knowledge, how to reduce this space by clicking on this button, and you can reduce the space of the line. So I make it 1. So is it in the same line now? 1 line? Yeah, GST payment. So I think you have answered the one of the skill. Okay. So e-way bill, I have missed out e-way bill also, right? You should be able to write that. These are the major important points will be considered for your selection criteria. And see, this is still, it is not in the correct format, right? What I'm going to do, there is one link you can see here. I'm going to drag this into 1 line. So it is coming to 1 line. And if I need more space, I have to jump 1 line. So it is properly aligned. This kind of alignment ideas you should be having, otherwise you'll not be able to do it. So what I have prepared right now is the nothing but DPAT student. DPAT level and student CV. So right now, if you would like to highlight, this is a certification. You've done only one certification. In that case, you can remove number 1, and you should be able to highlight DPAT level 1 here. And you should be able to highlight InPAT Pro in bold because it is an institution, and course, you should be able to highlight DPAT course. Bold, make it bold. So that the recruiter attention will go to this particular, okay, what is this? DPAT, Diploma in Practical Accounting and Taxation. No name only says, course name only says that you are done DPAT. And Practical Accounting and Taxation, okay, practical you are learned. And you are done it from Basangudi InPAT Pro. They might browse it. Definitely they're going to browse. If they browse it straight away, what is going to come? InPAT Pro name is going to come. So let me show you that also. You might be knowing all this, but still. So being an employer, what I'm going to do, I'll go to Google. I'll just press InPAT Pro. Okay. Then I'll be able to see the InPAT Pro website. Then I will understand, okay, what are the courses they're providing? Okay, these are the courses. So this guy has done this. Okay, very fantastic. So they're going to hire you. There is a chance of hiring more if you mention InPAT Pro specifically, because we have 11 branches across Karnataka, and we have trained around 7,500 plus students till date. So many student CVs will be having InPAT Pro, right? So that's why these are the points you have to always highlight, and these key skills. This is about the student, the DPAT student. And most important thing, we have our placement support. Many students, I don't know whether they're aware of this or not, so they're not applying properly. Let me give you a clarity on this also. So we have a very, very strong placement team. So we add every day 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 jobs every day. On an 15 being an average number, we're adding 10 to 20 jobs every day into our portal. You can identify these jobs through mobile app InPAT Pro, or you can visit our website InPAT Pro and go to jobs. You'll be able to see all the jobs. So there are various types of jobs, various locality, various experience. So if you're looking for a fresher job, focus only for fresher job. If you're looking for 1 or 2 year experience, focus only for 1 or 2 year experience jobs. So on an average, every month we are going to post 300 accounting, taxation, HR related jobs. Basically commerce domain jobs, we are going to post 300 jobs, guys. Go and check Apna jobs. They're hardly posting 10 accounting jobs, but we are posting 20 more than Apna. So those kind of jobs openings we are only posting. What is your duty? You have to identify which is your favorite job, which is your dream job. Click on apply button, or being a student, you'll be able to see all the jobs, get the details, and then you have to apply in a professional way. Getting my point? So even if you have any queries, you can directly contact our placement cell through 9606-909-555 number. You can save this number right away. And if you have any queries, you can even send an email on placementsupport@inpact.com. Our executives will get back to you with proper replies. Okay. And when you are writing email, please write down your contact number also. We can contact you back. And generally, I suggest you can just drop an WhatsApp also, not a problem. So we are going to respond. And moreover, before you get into the placement support team, you contact your faculty, you understand what is my CV is correct or not. Contact your counselor, understand whether any job openings, like any difficulties if you are facing with respect to finding the job, you can contact your counselor. Like that, that's the first point of contact. They are available right away. Apart from that, if you want to have any, if you have any queries, you want clarification, then you can contact our placement team. Clear, guys? Any questions still here? Okay, I'll just take a few of the other questions which is raised. Yeah, this recording, video recording will be shared through the same link which you are getting. So there only you will be going to get the recording link also. That was one of the question. And the complete model, is it same way we mentioned? Like, yeah. So if it is a module, you will not be able to, you are not authorized to mention as at a DPAT. You can just write, I have completed Tally Foundation course from InPAT Pro, same way. But in Tally Foundation, you will learn so many things. You can make a list, bullet points you can highlight. Okay, that is very important. That was one of the questions. Can we don't mention any skills and mention 2 skills? I'm not understanding this question properly. Can we don't mention any skill and mention 2? Yeah, so you have to mention skills. That's my answer. And writing 1 page resume is good, 2 page. Always 2 page is suggested, not 1 page. In module same way, right? Yes, yeah, module also same way. This difference between resume and CV. Resume is a very, very simple term. Your professional experience will not be mentioned. Once you are applying for the professional jobs, you have to mention CV. It will become CV. Okay. Always use curriculum vitae CV. Okay. And if students are having career gap for 4 years, what type of questions we used to face by the HR? In what way we can answer the people? So if there is a 4 years of gap, it's absolutely like difficult topic to handle right now. And you should be justifying it. And after the 4 years of gap, you should be skilled enough to apply for the another job. For example, when we are pitching for our courses, this is one of the key factors. If there is a 4-year gap, you cannot go and study BCom or MCom again. What you should do, you should again go for the skill-based training programs like DPAT or any other schools. If you are a digital marketing, if you're a marketing person, you should and must go for the skill development courses, and then only you can apply for the better jobs. That is the suggested one. And yeah, all questions answered. One more question. After completion of the PhD, if you want to apply jobs through our InPAT Pro, after certification, as a fresher, how we can place through the domestic firms and MNCs. They will not be considered fresher for big four companies. If we don't have experience, how can we? See, there is no rule that fresher will not be considered for any job. So any job, any company, any domestic, international, not beyond this globe, right? In any locality, any job, if there is a requirement of fresher, they are going to hire fresher. If there is no fresher suitable, then they are not going to hire fresher. As simple as that. Artha aita? So fresher ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ fresher ನ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Fresher ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಗುಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So fresher job will always be available, but how you are going to find that is very important. Just apply in InPAT app and keeping quiet will not be suggested. You have to apply in all the job portals. Naukri, Quicker, so jobhay.com anta ide. There are so many job portals. You just have to first search for the job portals in India. Then you'll get all these portals and apply for all the job portals. And every day, every 3 days once, you have to reapply. That means you have to go to that account and you have to make some changes and save the file. That's how your CV will be updated one. So you can apply for, if you completed DPAT course, definitely they are going to consider skills for the job. Suppose if the MNCs are not hiring for the accountant, for example, if they are hiring for some other role, data analyst or whatever, you can still mention the skills. They will not reject you because you learned something, right? So do you know the difference between accounting and finance? Accounting, what we teach generally in the Tally Foundation. Finance, what we teach in the basically, not to the great extent, but yeah, some extent we are covering in the MIS and finance statement topic. So being a DPAT student, you know basic accounting as well as finance analytical skills. So it's the greatest advantage for you to pitch for the analytical jobs also when you complete DPAT. Both, okay, accounting as well as finance. But finance is rough, like it's a broader concept that there are a lot of other things to learn apart from what we cover, but at least you are covering basics of the finance. Okay, so you can easily apply for any job. Don't change anything. Fresher level. When interviewer asks why you left previous company, how to give best answer? It depends upon your why did you left? I don't know. So if you left for a reason, then you have to give them the same reason. So, but see, it's again the I can give you one best example of worst scenario. Considering worst scenario, you're doing best, you're doing good. Suddenly your roles has been changed. So that's why, okay, salary reason, I will address that also. So your roles has been changed suddenly and you are getting a lot of other jobs you do not know how to handle. That's why you quit the job. You can tell them, so I was handling this job and so suddenly the roles has changed completely. It's not the responsibility. I'm ready to learn, but they are not allowing me to, the sufficient time has not been given. You are not blaming, because there was no possible way to give you time also for the employer, that you can highlight. And less salary reason is, of course, it's a good reason. It's not a bad reason. I was getting this much, sir. I feel I can do better than that. That's why I left the job. There's another question. If HR asks why you are having career gap for 4 years, in what way? That's the genuine reason only you have to give. There is no other answer for that. Okay. Interviewer, when interviewer asks, okay, that's over. And languages, if students don't know Kannada, that is a local language, how can apply for the job, sir? So it's again pure depends upon recruiter. A recruiter may be so specifically looking for a candidate that he needs only Kannada language people. Then you do not have any option. Just quit for some other job. So if the recruiter is okay with any language, then it is not a problem. So if being a non-Kannadiga, if you are looking for a job, every people will not ask Kannada. If they're specific, one of the criteria, if it is Kannada, don't apply for that. Apply for some. So many jobs are available. There is no mandatory Kannada language. Okay. 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 There was a question. I have 4-year experience on software field. How can I convert into accountant? Easy. Are you our student now? I have a question, counter question. Please answer that. If you're our student, I can answer in a different way. Yes. Okay. If you are our student, you would have taken some of the courses, right? So that will fill out your gap. But this is again very, very carefully handled. So you have 4 years of rich experience in the software field. Now you're suddenly changing your field. What is the reason? that they will definitely ask. You have to justify, sir, I want to make this as my career for throughout my life. This is the one answer you should give. And throughout the life, not even 1 or 2 years. Okay. Next is, how did you fill out this gap? So you have taken our courses, DPAT course, wherein you have the basic understanding of the accounting, taxation, so many things you would have learned by this, so that you can pitch in. Not a reason, you should be ready for it now. Now, after 4 years of software experience, you are jumping into accounting field. You will not be able to expect the salary what you are getting in the last previous job. So you should be ready to the salary negotiation. You should be ready to the lesser salary, to work with the lesser salary. It need not be lesser salary also. Sometimes what happens in our student fresher level only, they got 15,000, they got 25,000, 30,000 also. So fresher level 30,000 is a good salary. 25,000 is considered as a good salary. If you are able to go to that level after our course, that's great. I think that's the highest salary you might get as a fresher. So rest is left to you. Okay. About your profile, I do not know. Okay. These are the questions. So I have last one topic to be covered. Shall I proceed? Do you have time? Maybe I can complete within 10 to 15 minutes. Right? Everyone interested?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Okay, fine. If you are staying back till the end, I'm going to continue. Right? Everyone, please, can you reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. So I got sufficient amount of response so that I am going to continue. There's nothing but a process. So for your information, it is not to be covered mandatorily with this session, but still I want to give you some idea about the interview process also. My topic is today to give you an idea of how exactly you have to prepare your CV. Now I am going to a different topic of interview process, just to give you an understanding in a very, very brief term. Okay, let me start with this. So you prepare agide CV, ready ide. I'll just have a summary. ನೀವೇನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದನೇದಾಗಿ CV ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿರೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ DPAT ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೀ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ನ ಹೈಲೈಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. And language, everything you have highlighted. You are ready with CV. You export it. It is in the PDF. Now PDF name is accurately done, properly done. Everything is ready. Now what you have to do. That is the process. After all this, what you have to do. First is application. As you know, applications ali, you are one of the applicants. Not you are only the applicant, right? So let me take 100 application as come. So your application to be considered out of this 100, right? What are the important factors you have to consider? Write a formal email. So your CV has to go with the formal email. WhatsApp will just forward ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದಲ್ಲ. You have to send formal email. Good subject ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ subject heading ಏನಿರಬೇಕು? You see job name, application for accountant job /_ Ganesh Shetty _ 2 year experience ಆ ತರ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು subject line ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Write something about you in brief. Adadmele, dear sir, so about me and I'm this briefly, because CV is attached, right? Reference details. How did you get this number or contact details or email ID? I got this number from contact details from the InPAT app, or I got this from my one of the colleague, or whatever. You have to write it. Add contact details with full name. You have to below that, thank you, regards, my Ganesh Shetty, regards Ganesh Shetty, and then contact number. In my example answer, don't forget to attach your CV. This is a silliest mistake many people will do. Attach CV, that should be in a properly named. You have to send it. So this is one step to be selected out of this 100 applications, guys. 100 application has come. You should be one among them. 100 application will be reviewed by the recruiter. Then they will reject 50% of it. Then it will come to 50 CVs only. Are you the one of these 50 out of 100? That is the challenge. So that's why you should be properly writing the application. Just forward ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ heading ಇರಲ್ಲ, subject ಹಾಕಲ್ಲ, ಅಂತ CV ಗಳನ್ನ consider ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. For your kind information, recruiter will not even touch that, not even open your email. That's about it. Okay, so 50% gone case, 50% only left, only people who have followed all this process. Next is basic screening. This can be done telephonic interview also, or maybe through the basic screening. One CV 50 CV ನಾನು 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ how much time I have to spend, guys, right? So I do not have that much of time. I will be spending only 1 minute per CV or less than 1 minute per CV. So the CV should be precise and accurate. understand the job clearly. When you're preparing CV, I said job takkanta CV ready ಮಾಡಿ, job oriented CV ready ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ. So that you have considered. Check location, comfortability, application you are making for a particular job which is located in different place. You should be comfortable with the location, otherwise don't even apply. So when you are talking and when your basic screening is happening, you should be able to get the more information about the locality. Okay, job irodu Vijayanagara. Where is in Vijayanagar? You should be able to identify, okay, Vijayanagar, there is a metro comfortability, or you are in somewhere in Ranebennur in the apply martidra, you have got in Hassan, you will be able to travel to Hassan. That you have to just see. Have a check on salary range. So salary range nimage suitable idya? You are expecting 20,000. That employer is clearly written in JD job description that she will be only paying you 10,000. Will you be going to apply for that? Don't even apply. And when you have a check, when you are having the base screening, you should clearly ask them, sir, you have mentioned 15,000 salary and I'm expecting 18,000. Is it possible? The range is possible. I'm expecting around 18 to 20,000. Sir, is it possible? With a genuine gesture, you have to ask, sir, is it possible when this basic screening is happening? You should clearly get the idea. Yeah, that might be possible, they might say. In JD, they wouldn't have mentioned it, 15 to 20. So your expectation is 1,000 above 20, then that is also you can ask, not a problem. But genuinely, professionally, you have to ask. Ask any number of questions if you want. In basic screening only, telephonic interview only, because you should be getting all the details before you go for the HR round. So in basic screening, around more than 10, 20, 30% will be scrapped off and only 20 CVs will be left out. And in that, you are the one, you have to be very careful. When you follow all the process steps before this, you will be able to be one of these 20. So I hope you're getting the point. And next, HR round is purely for the communication checkup. Okay, communication engide, do you know how to speak, fluency, you have all that. So before you go for the HR round, you should know about the company. Okay, so you get the understanding of the company by visiting the website and speak very fluently whatever language grip you have, and dress professionally and ask questions only about the company policy if you want at the end of the interview. Okay, dress professionally, fluent speaking is important, confidence is very, very important. If you know Kannada and if you know only Kannada, then don't start with Kannada. If the person is expecting English, start with English and gradually.
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
Okay, so now it's fine. I hope.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I get a lot of questions from the candidate that, sir, Kannadadalli matadaboda sudden. So I feel so much like irritated by this question. Yes, I do respect Kannadigas. I am a Kannadiga, nangu Kannada gottu. I prefer talking in Kannada once you join, not before you join, guys. I want you guys to talk to my clients in English only. Kannadadalli beda nange. Nange Kannada very comfortable. I am very happy with Kannada. I spent 90% in Kannada only within my office. When in this session, I am speaking in English, right? Because this is the professional platform. I cannot speak in Kannada only. Because there might be no non-Kannadigas here. So interview allu kuda adane expect ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. You cannot speak directly Kannada or any local language for that matter. Okay, you speak in English, full effort, confident ag matadi. So then at the end of the day, maybe in the middle, if you get a chance to speak in Kannada, you speak in Kannada with their permission. Otherwise, if they speak in Kannada, you can start with Kannada. That is the way. So this is about the HR round. Then if at all you get selected out of this 20, out among 10, if you are one of them, you will be facing the technical round of interview. So in this case, you should be able to understand job roles and responsibilities very clearly before you get into the interview. Okay, so ready to answer technical questions like what is Tally, what is Excel, everything you should be able to answer and prove that how you can handle this particular job effectively. For example, if I apply for the accountant job, you should be able to justify this accounting job I can handle like a pro. InPAT Pro, you are the InPAT Pro, right? You should be able to handle like a pro. So that confidence you should show them so that they can focus on hiring you among the 10 candidates. And ask questions if you have any on the job process only, nothing else. That's about it. It's a technical round left to the recruiter, it is not your round. Then final round of interview, if at all you get selected. If you did not get selected, don't worry, only 1 or 2 people will be there. If you are one of them out of 1 or 2 people, then you should be ready for everything. That means you should be ready to take the negative, you should be ready to take the positive also. They might have straight away told you in the interview itself, you got rejected. You don't come out of the interview space with crying. So, okay, done, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. No problem. Because you can apply for another time, right? It's the same company. That you should keep remembering. Respond to the offer within stipulated time. Once you get the offer, offer letter due date within 7 days you have to respond. Within tomorrow you have to respond. You should be responding within. So keep on looking at, okay, this offer letter is better or this is better, and not even applying for one and lost both the job. This also happens. So apply within stipulated time. Read that email carefully. Negotiate in a professional way if you want. If you think that salary offered is 18,000 or 20,000, you are expecting more than that 22,000 you offer. You are expecting. Why? You can justify the job as well as you need that money. You can talk to HR or whoever sent that offer letter. You genuinely talk, sir, I'm very happy that you have given this offer. I'm grateful to you. But one small question, sir. You have to have some basic introduction, and after that, sir, I was literally expecting 22,000 because that is what is my expectation. Is there any chance to increase the salary to 22,000 instead of 20,000? So can you please check? Can you please confirm me on this, sir, so that I can accept this offer or revised offer? Whatever term, if you're not happy, you can ask. Negotiation is absolutely possible in all the interview. Then, if you revised offer letter or same offer letter, whatever it might happen, then you should be writing a formal email of acceptance. Google it for the format. Why you are worried? Google ಮಾಡಿ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ format ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. Google ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು format ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Sir, voice is better.
Again, it's breaking. I think
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think some network issue is there. Hope now it's clear. I'm just checking to. I hope it's clear now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So similar way, you should be responding even if it is negative also. If the offer is rejected or any email you might receive, you are not selected, you should be able to respond. Thank you for the opportunity. It was a great time, whatever format you find it or you write it your own, and hoping for the better apply again in future, like something like that. You can write it any English, anything you can, you write a format and send it to them, a proper English. Okay. Then last one is very, very important, guys. The job process will involve a lot of things. Someone else might be helping you, or someone maybe giving you the references. You don't forget to inform them about your interview. Once you get selected, okay, job sikto, nan kelsa mugitu, I'm happy. No, please respond to the mentors or helpers, whoever help you. Maybe InPAT team ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, counselor ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, faculty ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ಬರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಕಲೀಗ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, whoever it may be. If they would have given you the job reference, please tell them, sir, thank you so much. By your help, your guidance, I got this job. I'm very happy. Thank you so much for your help.
Sir, voice is
breaking. It's for everyone or only for you? I am not understanding. Others, can you please respond? Is it breaking?
No, sir.
no, sir. It's audible.
Okay.
It's coming, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So let me continue with this. Okay. So basically, this one point is very, very important, guys. This will clearly reflect you. So how you are going to respond to the helpers or mentors, how you are going to respond. That's very, very important. So see, sometime our team might get back to you. See what happens in majority of our cases, what happened, we have guided them, we have given them a job, but after getting the job, they don't even responding. They don't even intention giving us a review, nothing. They are not even picking our call. That's not acceptable. So that please have some gratitude to respect to the help which anyone made it for this reason. So I'm not telling you that you will get job only through InPAT. I have clearly mentioned Naukri ide, bere portal ide. So ella portal allu apply madi. So you apply in all the portals or apply, ask all of your friends. Anyone helps, please show some gratitude for the help they have made. That's about it. Okay. I think that's all. I'm open for the question and answer now. If you have any questions, you can please highlight. You can just make a questions now. And one more point I missed out. Before you go for the interview, please do one thing. You revise your study materials which you have, and also updates whichever posted in the app, you please get into it. And discussion forum, if you have any question, you can even post queries in the app itself straight away. And you can prepare for the interview by using the interview preparation tab which we have, and then only you have to apply for the job. Selection of the job is your task, and only the proceeding the application is our responsibility or anyone recruiter responsibility. Selection, helping, nobody will do you. So that you have to do one thing, you have to get more job openings and apply for all the job openings, then only you'll be able to get the relevant job, and it should be your dream job. Don't compromise the job, gives proper timings, and then only wait for the certain time to get the proper job. So don't rush to accept any of the job which is not even suitable to you. Okay, so let me answer 2 questions. Interview, if any questions not able to answer, okay, how to handle it, please need your suggestion. Okay, so in the interview they've asked you very tough question, so suddenly you need not to quit. That is very important. So some people would have suggested you to, if you do not know, say no. If you know, you answer. That is okay. That is also good suggestion only. But straight away, okay, they ask the question, you say, I do not know, sir. That is not acceptable. Okay, you should be able to give a try. At least a small try is enough. You should be able to give a small try. So for example, that question you might be able to answer if you think more. In this case, if you do not know, sir, I just remember something, give me 2 seconds, sir, I'll just try to understand. So bend down your head and focus on that particular area. If you can really get that point, it's great. Instead of, you see what happens in the interview, you'll be focusing on the interviewer, recruiter will be in front of you, you'll be focusing on them. It will be very like not comfortable zone for you, right? So you'll not be able to remember, okay, what is VLOOKUP? Suddenly, oh, VLOOKUP, oh sir, I don't know. That is not acceptable. Okay, VLOOKUP, sir, VLOOKUP, 1 second, sir, give me 1 second, I'll answer this. Okay, VLOOKUP, you have to get out of all this complicated zone and just think about it. And if you can answer it, sir, VLOOKUP means this. And if still, if you can, sir, I'm not able to remember right now, but I have idea of it. So I'm not remembering right now. That's the way you should be able to answer it. That's my suggestion. Yeah, any other question? Okay. I think there is no other question from any of the audience.
ಸರ್ ಬರೇ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬಂದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ?
ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿದಾವೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳಿದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಒಂದು ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈವನ್ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ ಅಂತಾನು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲೇ ತಮಿಳ್ ಬರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ತೆಲುಗು ಬರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತೆಲುಗು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯೆನ್ಸಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ತೆಲುಗು ಅವರು ಕೂಡ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ತಮಿಳವರು ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಜಾಬ್. So wherein they are comfortable with the language. So always people will be comfortable with the local language. So avaga nimge Telugu gottide andre, English manageable ide andre, they'll be happy to hire you. But what matters is a skill. Skill if you have, if you are suitable to the job, language is not a big deal. Yaar. In accounting job or taxation job, language is not a big deal. HR job language is a major criteria because you will be handling so many activities and you will be talking to so many people. HR may not be. When it comes to accounting, language is not a primary criteria. Skill is the criteria. It's a knowledge-based job. Accounting and taxation, these kind of jobs. So you have to expand your reach to get more job openings. That's about it. That's the suggestion. Okay. Should we mention CV or resume before basic details? Yeah, highlight should be CV or resume. I showed you one of the format, right? The ultimate, I have prepared one other format, which is nothing but the final format of the student. So in this, see, I have highlighted Ganesh Shetty. That's enough. Or I could have written CV or resume or whatever it is. So I'm writing my name. So nowhere I have written it as a CV. That is not a problem. Okay. Or else you can even see there is no restriction. Ganesh Shetty resume or CV or maybe curriculum. So like this, you can add this also. See, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to be doing CV in this way only. This formatting is left to you. You are a good designer, then you can do whatever you want. But yeah, fancy designing is not acceptable in our commerce field. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. One more question. Yeah, that's all I think. So I think there is no more questions from anyone. So thank you so much for attending. Okay, there is one more question. Nowadays, an interview, they started asking CPA. What is it? CPA. CPA is a course actually. Basically, it's an like CA course in US. There are so many CPA courses from various countries. Presentation is more important. Yes, of course, it's right. Nowadays, presentation. So there was one question. What he's thinking, he or she's thinking that nowadays presentations is more important. That is what he or she is mentioning. Yes, of course, that's true. But without skill, you'll not be able to present properly. That's my comment. If you have a skill enough to present it properly, then presentation matters. But in our field, commerce jobs are knowledge-based jobs. Basically, presentation alone will not be a matter. So if we have a very good presentation without skill, you will not be hired for sure. And if you have, that is a balancing has to be done. Presentation and skill more are equal. Clear? Okay. So I think I have to wind up this session right now. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this particular program. And this recording also available for you. If you want, I think for students, you are going to get it. Anyway, in the study material tab, you're going to get it, this complete recording. And other than students, if you want, I think we can arrange to share this recording link also. And please use these comments, whatever we have discussed in this entire session. So please make your CV changes. What I look for is the genuine CV, which is clearly reflecting you, right? You are skilled. So you have to be reflected in the CV. That's what is every recruiters are looking for. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm winding up this session now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah. Any question?
Sir, last question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if you want to contact you, is there any number?
Yeah, I can, like, I will be available in the office number, so you can contact me. So with respect to any of the counseling activity, we have a specific counselor. So you'll be getting, if you visit our website, you'll be getting all the numbers. And even if you contact our office landline number, I will be available. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
26763477.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.